Life is beautiful.
The Theo Bros Podcast.
Yo, how we doing? I am Mike Theo.
I am Nick Theo,
And you are listening to the Theo Bros Podcast.
where you can count on daily wisdom to get your mind right.
Today is a very special episode because it's our first day back in the office after Nick has become a proud father to baby girl
You kidding
What
me,
can
bro?
I say?
You getting my daughter's name wrong already?
You come to my house and you get my daughter's name right. Baby Alessia. Sorry, Alessia. I love you. So, Nick, tell us what it's like to be a dad. I'm sure your life has changed. Give us the mindset motivation of the day through the lens of a brand new father, a father for the first time.
Well, it is by far the greatest moment and time in my entire life, for sure. I'll start with that. It's just
So cliche.
It is, but it's unexplainable how significant of an event it is to have a child for the first time. And
Try to put it into words.
I really have been thinking about it a lot. And I was talking to our friend Claude Silver, Chief Heart Officer, and she sent me a video, and she
Chief
said,
Heart Officer at Vayner.
at VaynerMedia, and she asked me, like, how's it going? And I said to her, honestly, it feels like I've found a level of love that I never even knew existed. And she said, yeah, it really opens up a new chamber of your heart. So one thing that I think I really learned from this whole experience is that there is a depth to love and how deep it can go. And it's an ocean that has no end, basically, is what this moment has taught me, because the love that I have for Alessia, when I look into her eyes, when I hold her in my hands, it is just, it's unexplainable. It's unlike anything I've ever felt in my entire life. So,
And how has that changed you as a person, if at all?
before even having a child, I started thinking about how this would change me as Amanda was pregnant. And the one thing that I kept reminding myself was that the thing that I learned from mom and dad was that a child does not learn by what you tell them, but by what you show them, how you move your feet. And the one thing that I've constantly reminded myself of before, and even now that I have her, is to just be the example of what I want to show her is the right way to behave in the world.
So in a way, she's like your ultimate accountability partner.
Yeah, she has extreme leverage over me to be the best version of myself, because I think that's the one part of this that's really unlocked, which is now so much of our life is focused on us and what we want and our goals that we want to achieve. And I think for me, at least, having a child has made me see the bigger picture, and that it is so much less about me and so much more about her and my family now. And that allows you to break your ego a little bit, to remove that me.
How are you
into-
dealing with any financial stress?
What do you mean by that? No.
So, like, I would assume that us starting this new venture and us being in the position that we are in this new career is not the most ideal situation for a new father, right?
Yeah.
Not that we don't have savings, but, it's not the most ideal situation to be starting a brand new career from scratch.
Yeah.
Have you felt that financial pressure weigh on you? Has that impacted has it put any pressure in a negative way?
No, actually, it's the complete opposite. And what I mean by that is, before, there was this like pressure to make Theo Bros a success really quickly, and there was this energy of lack towards it. And now I think I really have an energy of fullness towards it, and I have a deeper intrinsic motivation rather than an external one, believe it or not. It doesn't have to do with like I have to provide for her. It's more so goes back to that thing I was saying before, which is I need to be an example for her. So I need to be great at this thing to show her that I can achieve my dreams and chase them and do that. So it's more of an intrinsic motivation, and I know that that energy shift inside of me is actually going to pay tremendous amount of dividends.
I like that. You're like a Zen master on this one.
I mean, it's not as, I mean, I'm still
You're probably just
learning a
sleepy.
lot. Learning. Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
So I know how much you love shit. How many shit diapers have you cleaned?
A lot, man. You know, there's at first coming into this, I was like, oh, this is my biggest fear is like shit diapers. And believe it or not, there was a whole perspective shift that happened where at one point Amanda and I were cheering for shit. And it was when, babies, a lot of time when they come out, there's this thing called, what's it called? Jaundice. Basically, their skin looks a little bit yellow and they do all this stuff. And the way that you get this jaundice out is by pooping it out. And she wasn't pooping. So we were like, oh man, we don't want to go back to the hospital and get this blue light on her to get this out. Hopefully she poops. And it was a day she didn't poop. And then finally she pooped. And it was like, Amanda and I were like cheering in the house of how happy we were for poop. So that was another lesson. It's all perspective, right? Like that was the lesson.
That's really funny.
Of sometimes poop isn't the worst thing in the world. Poop could be actually the greatest thing in the world because it means my baby was getting healthier.
Right.
But on another story, a funny story here. So my wife Amanda felt like the baby was getting hot. So she's like, let's take her temperature. So the temperature that you take for a baby is a rectal thermometer. So Amanda lays her down and goes to put the thermometer in, and all of a sudden an explosion of poop comes out.
Onto her?
Onto like all over the place, all over the changing table and her. And I just thought it was a great moment, again, going back to the poop thing, because it was like, oh my God, this thing we feared so much is now actually a moment that's making us laugh. So it was another interesting dynamic there.
Was Amanda tight?
No, she was laughing with me. And it was and she was happy once again because the thermometer actually read that the baby was healthy.
Nice. So what is the hardest part about being a dad?
I think the hardest part, I don't know about being a dad, but this new part of my life, like there's a new element of having a child to care for. The hardest part is the lack of control that you have. So much before this was, okay, I had a routine. I would wake up at 4:50 in the morning. I would go to CrossFit and get there by 5:30, come home, shower, come into work, yada, yada, yada. And now it's the dynamic of shifting and figuring things out around the baby versus around what I think is best for myself. So I think that's the hardest part. And then along with that, obviously goes the lack of sleep that comes with having a newborn. They're up every 2 to 3 hours, have to eat. And but with that said, it's just it's all, even though it's difficult, it all feels worth it. And I guess that's another lesson, is the difficulty that we have in life can become less difficult if there's a deeper meaning behind it.
All right, let's end on that note. I don't know if we really have a call to action today. Maybe go have a child.
No, I think the
go
call to
impregnate somebody.
I don't think. No, I don't think you need to impregnate anyone or have a child. That's not the call to action. The call to action, I thought about it, was you can like our minds are really incredible things, right? You can create scenarios in your head. And I think the scenario you create in your head is, imagine there's someone, maybe it's not your child, maybe it's your nephew, your niece, or someone, a child that's looking up to you throughout your day. And remind yourself to be the example for that child, whether it's yours or someone else's, but someone who's looking up to you. And your actions matter for how they show up in the world. Get out of yourself and think about life from that perspective. And I promise you, you will start making some better decisions.
I like it. Be the example.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks for listening to me riff about my baby girl,
I know
Alessia.
You've been dying to get this one out.
Love you, Alessia.
Having a baby's awesome, man.
Yeah. Love you. Thanks for hanging out with us. Peace. Thank you so much for listening all the way to the end.
If you're new here, we share daily mindset motivation in 10 minutes or less.
So if that's your vibe, hit subscribe or check out another episode right here.